Hey guys, glad you're here, and we're going to see something kind of unique today. But when Jacob interacts with Pharaoh. So in verse 7 of chapter 47, it says, Then Joseph brought his father Jacob and presented him to Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. How old are you, Pharaoh asked him. Jacob replied, I have traveled this earth for 130 hard years. Jacob had some hard years, and a lot of those hard years were his own calling. But my life has been short compared to the lives of my ancestors. Then Jacob blessed Pharaoh again before leaving his court. So Jacob confesses here he's been on a pilgrimage, right? He hasn't owned all the land that he's on here, that he was on in the promised land when he was back over with Laban. You know, he was a pilgrim, moving through the land. He was a wanderer, a fun word, a sojourner, as he traveled, just like Abraham and Isaac before him. So the interesting part is where it says in verse 7, that last sentence, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Now, Pharaoh was seen by the Egyptian people as the physical embodiment of the god Ra, the sun god Ra, who was one of the preeminent gods within the Egyptian, pantheon. They had the same kind of deal going that, later the Greeks and the Romans, with Zeus and Ares and those kind of, things happening there. Artemis, all of those different, gods and things that they had in their different pantheons as they tried to explain the world around them. And really, both the Egyptians and the Romans and the Greeks, they all had very human-like gods that they created in these pantheons. And they were vindictive, vicious, oftentimes evil people. Like, go read some of the stuff that, according to Greek mythology, that Zeus did. It's not a pleasant deal. And you find the same exact thing within the Egyptian pantheon as well. But the interesting part here is to see Jacob bless Pharaoh and for Pharaoh to accept that blessing. That's a fascinating thing. He was supposed to be the embodiment of a God himself, and yet he's accepting blessing. The greater always blessed the lesser. That's how this worked in these cultures. So Pharaoh here sees Jacob as being a great man. I think he also here sees Jacob's God as being a great God. I think he is so thankful that God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, has protected his family, protected his land, that he accepts the blessing. It's fascinating. It just shows you the influence that Joseph had, the influence that Jacob had, and this is also biblical. Because when you go back to Genesis chapter 12 with the call of Abraham, it is said there that those who bless you will be blessed, right? That's that promise going down to the nation of Israel. Even, I believe this promise flows down even until today. I think this is a modern promise that we can still grab onto. So here you have Jacob blessing Pharaoh because Pharaoh was first a blessing to Jacob's family. It really fits well throughout the totality of Genesis and for the greatness of this family, and most importantly, the greatness of God. And we'll look at the next part of this tomorrow. Have a great day.